Available now. Link below.
Tonight we're diving deep into a story that could very well redefine the political landscape ahead of the next election cycle. At the heart of this storm is a border bill, one that's become a lightning rod for controversy, drawing lines in the sand that could either unite or further divide an already polarized nation. But there's more to the bill than meets the eye. Former President Trump has sounded the alarm, calling it a trap for the Republicans, while House Speaker Johnson has slammed it as dead on arrival. Why such strong opposition, and what's at stake for the GOP, for America, and for the very principles this country was built on? This isn't just another piece of legislation. It's a battlefield where the future of our republic is being contested. So stay with us for the special report. You don't want to miss the final thought that could change everything you thought you knew about this issue. And of course, my special announcement. Now, folks, before we dive deeper into tonight's pivotal report, let's take a quick moment for a word from our sponsors who make our hard-hitting journalism possible. Just as the GOP stands vigilant against deceptive maneuvers in Congress, you too can stand up to the cold with this revolutionary and portable heater. Take a look at this little guy. With heating bills skyrocketing, this compact, powerful device is your ally in outsmarting the soaring utility costs, much like our political leaders must outsmart their opposition. Don't let the winter freeze your resolve or your living room. Grab yours at an exclusive 55% off and enjoy the warmth of security. Order yours now at getwarmnow.com. Remember, staying warm this winter is just as crucial as staying informed. Now, back to our report. In the swirling vortex of political maneuvering and strategic gambits that define our nation's capital, a new storm is brewing over the contentious issue of border security. At the center of this tempest is a piece of legislation that has divided the Senate, drawn the ire of the House, and sparked a firestorm of controversy from the former President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. The bill, a bipartisan effort in name but a battleground in practice, ostensibly aims to address the ongoing crisis at our southern border. However, critics, including Trump, argue it's nothing more than a cleverly disguised trap for the Republicans, a Trojan horse designed to bolster President Biden's flagging approval ratings and shift the narrative away from his administration's failures. Trump, ever the firebrand, took to social media to voice his opposition, stating unequivocally that only a fool or a radical left Democrat would vote for this horrendous border bill. His words, sharp as daggers, cut to the heart of the matter, encapsulating the skepticism and outright distrust many conservatives feel towards this legislation. Now, the bill, according to Trump and a chorus of GOP leaders, is gift-wrapped in deception, a ploy to make Republicans complicit in the Democrats' border failures. Now, here's what President Trump had to say about energy and border security. Take a look.
What I'm saying is that we're going to immediately drill, baby drill. We're going to get energy down. And the other thing is we're going to have a strong border. We're going to close up the border because no country is sustainable. When you look at what's happening to our country with people from jails and prisons, people from mental institutions and insane asylums coming in, our country is being destroyed.
Well, it certainly is. House Speaker Mike Johnson echoed Trump's sentiments, declaring the bill dead on arrival. If it were to reach the House floor, Johnson's declaration isn't merely a political posture, it's a line in the sand signaling the GOP's refusal to be ensnared by what they perceive as Democratic subterfuge. Now, the so-called bipartisan bill, Johnson argues, does nothing to solve the border crisis, but instead perpetuates it under the guise of reform. Now, the criticism doesn't stop at the bill's ineffectiveness. There's a deeper, more insidious layer to the opposition. The legislation as drafted would expand work authorizations for illegal aliens while failing to introduce critical asylum reforms. Moreover, its provisions effectively endorse the Biden administration's catch and release policy, a policy that has been a thorn in the side of those advocating for stricter border security measures. But perhaps the most damning indictment of the bill comes from its provision for a so-called shutdown authority. Far from being the robust tool the name suggests, this authority is riddled with loopholes, granting excessive discretion to Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, who, according to critics, has shown a propensity to bend, if not break, the rules to keep the border as open as possible. Now let's take a look at what President Trump had to say, his plan to deal with the border crisis.
I had the safest border in the history of our country. I built 561 miles of wall, and that was good. But I also got Mexico to give us 28,000 soldiers free of charge. Now, I told them that we were not going to be happy if you don't do it. We're going to put tariffs on your cars and everything else that you sell us, which is a lot. if you don't do it. And they did it. They gave us 28,000 soldiers, and we had the best border we ever had. To this day, I had the best border we've ever had. Now we have the worst border probably in the history of the world.
So in essence, the bill is seen as an extension of the Biden administration's swampy border policies. Policies have been criticized for their lack of transparency, ineffectiveness, and adherence to the rule of law. It's a continuation of a strategy that prioritizes political expediency over the safety and security of you, the American people. Now, the bill's foreign aid commitments further muddy the waters, tying border security to international interests in a way that many find objectionable. With billions allocated to support Ukraine, Israel, and other global initiatives, the legislation conflates domestic security concerns with foreign policy objectives, diluting the focus on America's border crisis. Now, this blending of priorities is precisely what Trump warned against. The former president's insistence that the bill is a trap isn't just political rhetoric, it's a cautionary statement about the dangers of allowing the swamp to dictate the terms of the immigration debate. And by linking border security to foreign aid, the bill effectively holds critical security measures hostage to international agendas, a tactic that could compromise America's sovereignty and the safety of its citizens. Now, Trump's critique extends beyond the bill itself, targeting the broader strategy employed by the Democrats. He accuses them of attempting to absolve themselves of their failures on immigration and the border by shifting the blame onto Republicans. It's a classic case of political misdirection, one that seeks to rewrite the narrative in favor of the swamp. Now, the GOP's response to the challenge has been a rally around alternative proposals, most notably the Secure the Border Act, which is called H.R. 2. They argue it contains the necessary components to effectively address the crisis. This legislation, they contend, offers a clear and present solution to the influx of the illegal immigrants, one that prioritizes the enforcement of existing laws and the strengthening of border security measures. Yet the path forward is fraught with political landmines. The Senate bill, despite its contentious nature, represents a significant effort to tackle a problem that has vexed lawmakers for decades. The question now is whether a compromise can be reached, one that addresses the legitimate concerns of both parties without compromising on the principles of national security and sovereign integrity. So as the debate rages on, the American people watch with bated breath. The border crisis is more than a political issue. It's a test of our nation's ability to govern itself, to make tough decisions in the face of complex challenges, and it's a reminder, at its core, politics is about the art of the possible, about finding common ground in a landscape often dominated by division and discord. Now, before we proceed to my final thought, let's take a moment to cut through the noise as we barrel towards the 2024 election. It's time to face the harsh truths lurking beneath the surface of our national discourse. And now my announcement. My latest work, The Silent Coup, is more than just a book. It's a clarion call to those willing to question the narrative spun by political elites and their media cronies. In an age where clarity is power, arm yourself with the unvarnished truth. Grab your copy now, and let's start asking the tough questions together. Check the link in this video's description. And now, my final thought. In this moment of political crossroads, the battle over the border bill isn't just about policy, it's about the very soul of our republic. It's a testament to the enduring struggle between sovereignty and subversion, clarity and obfuscation. As Trump's warnings echo through the halls of Congress, they serve as a stark reminder that vigilance is the price of liberty. This bill, draped in the guise of compromise, poses a fundamental question to our nation. Will we stand firm in the defense of our borders, our laws, and our values? Or will we succumb to the allure of easy solutions that compromise our security and principles? The answer lies not in the hands of politicians alone, but in the collective will of the American people. It's a call to action, and it summons to uphold the ideals that have guided our nation through its darkest hours and into its brightest days. So let us answer that call with courage, conviction, and a steadfast commitment to the principles that define us as a republic. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.